Hey guys, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. We are going to discuss today Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I have a bit of a cold, as you can hear from my voice. I will be coughing up phlegm throughout, and I completely forgot to write a paper thing of, Todd, how many bolts we're going to be giving it. I'll verbally do it. So this review is going to be laced with spoilers. Oh my goodness, because we have things to discuss. And I would like to touch base first on my viewing of it. So I went by myself, as I normally do with movies. I was sitting next to some older teenager, I don't know, to my left with his family, and then I was sitting to a group of 13-year-old boys, 6 of them, to my right. I have nothing against middle schoolers. I love middle schoolers, right? I've worked in after-school programs. I worked as a camp counselor numerous times. I worked in a couple daycares. I worked at birthday party places. The after-school program was my favorite job, to be completely honest. It was a bunch of middle schoolers. We would play freeze tag literally every day, and these kids were beasts. I know my way around a 13-year-old's mind, right? Okay, so this kid, high on sugar, no parent in sight. It's the six 13-year-olds to my right. This one kid would not shut up. I have been waiting 3 years for this sequel, right? And the very first film was around way before this child. The first 3 films were way before this child was even an inkling in his parents' imagination. Okay? He has no business talking to his friends in the middle of the 5th Jurassic Park movie. No. So 40 minutes goes by of the actual film, and I turn to him and I lean in because it's reserved seats, right? So you have like a lot of room. I'm like, guys, you gotta stop. That's all I said. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Didn't talk for a solid 30 minutes. Kept wiggling in his seat because he's high on sugar. Didn't talk for 30 minutes. Then like big stuff happens in the film, and like, you know, they're at the Lockwood Mansion. That's a big part of the plot. We all know that from the trailers. Like I said, we're targeting spoilers anyway. And then, like, this big Indoraptor scene is happening, and, like, there's people running and screaming, and Packy is just beating the hell out of everyone. This kid decides to then loudly shout to his friend that this is awesome. And then he starts to howl. He starts to go, oh! And I that was it. I was done. I was like, I have a cold. I'm done. That's it. I lean over. I get up in his face. And I kind of accidentally coughed on him because I was just so angry. And I said, you have got to shut up. And he didn't say anything. And he didn't move the rest of the film. And I was so proud of instilling such fear and vulnerability into this child who refused to move afterwards for the next remainder 45 minutes of the film. I inflicted fear on this individual, and I was so proud of myself, because if you as a parent are letting your 13-year-old out into the wild, you better make damn sure that they respect the public. You do not talk in a movie theater. The first thing that this kid said to his friend at the beginning of the movie was, yo, dude, do you know where the bathroom is? I let it slide. I didn't have a problem with that, because that's a biological thing. That's fine. If he was like, oh no, I cut my hand, where's the manager? That's fine. That's a medical thing, right? I do not need to know about how sour your gummy straws are. I do not need to know how squeaky your popcorn is as you chew it with your teeth. I do not need to know how sugary your soda is as you slurp it and then steal your friend's slushie next to you. I got this kid's whole life story just by eavesdropping because he wouldn't shut the F up while I'm trying desperately to watch this film that I've been waiting so long for. Massive Jurassic Park fan, massive Jurassic World fan. It's been that way since the early 90s. Fresh out the womb. No, let's be honest, many years after fresh out the womb. But couldn't. I was just so proud of myself to be scary. Sometimes you gotta be a douchebag. Remember we talked about that at certain points? This kid was being a douchebag, and what's the math of it? Negative times a negative equals a positive, right? So my douchebaggery met his douchebaggery, and he shut up, and it was beautiful. Okay, now, movie. So many people did not like this movie, and I can understand why. But let me tell you why you're wrong. Alright, so, this was a Jurassic Park film, right? This is a Jurassic World film. This was not like any Jurassic film we've seen before, and that's what makes it great. That's what makes it awesome, because it's progress. Without change, there'd be no progress, right? Evolution. Change. Beautiful. I feel like I should have a dinosaur. Okay, we can talk. It was so dramatic. There was this operatic music, and you're like, oh my god, what is this? What is this? This is like I'm watching a Gladiator movie mixed with a Star Wars movie mixed with some kind of other Roman movie, and you're just like, oh my lord, this is just did not expect the operatic music playing as some drama happened throughout the entire thing, right? So we get the entire plot of the film from all the trailers. Island's about to explode. Company swoops in to take dinosaurs away, to then sell them, to use the genetic makeup to make more, but then they're militarized, and we get that concept from, oh god, my head is just the first Jurassic World with Owen training the 4 raptors. Blue is obviously the main raptor. It's so choked up. It's alright, actually. It's alright. Blue, man. Whew. We get Blue and Owen backstory. Oh my god, touched at the heart. That Brontosaurus at the pier. Oh my god. So heartbreaking. There was a lot of emotion in this, but there was a lot of horror in this. And a lot of people didn't like the Lockwood scenes, the Lockwood mansion, how the lab was in the basement, and like the dinosaurs blah 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 and blah blah blah. It's such a great review. That's what happens when you have a cold. I haven't had one in over a year. Thank you, vegan diet. I had no issues or qualms with this film because it was extremely fast-paced. We were on the island, we got the dinos, we had the issues, we had people dying, we had people almost dying, we had people drowning, we had dinos drowning. Oh my god, it was so hard to watch that. And then they sneak on the boat, they save Blue, they get to the mansion, all hell breaks loose, we find out the girl's actually a clone, and then she's the one who actually releases the dinos into the wild because they're alive just like she is. And it pulls at your heartstrings, and you're like, oh my god, this poor, what is going through her mind right now? Like, her dino siblings can't die because she hasn't died. And it's like, I get it. But then, like, all hell breaks loose, and Jeff Goldblum is just preaching his Jeff Goldblum preaches. And then, like, the dinosaurs are now in the world. And you're like, oh, shit. And, like, the post-credit scene of the Pteranodons literally flying in Vegas. And you're like, okay. And it's exciting because this movie was a complete precursor to what's to come. What is the third Jurassic World going to be? Because it's literally going to be the world. You know how the Fast and Furious movies, and this makes perfect sense because this is a Universal franchise. Fast and Furious is a Universal franchise. Jurassic is a Universal franchise. Fast and Furious is a Universal franchise. Here's the connections. The very first Fast and Furious movie, where did it take place? Los Angeles. Where did the second one take place? Miami. Where did the third one take place? Tokyo. Where did the fourth one take place? Mexico, and then some other places, right? The fifth took place in Brazil, and then other places. The sixth took place in London and other places. The seventh took place in everywhere. It started in Cuba. We wound up in where? Greenland? Something like that? Large, massive explosion? With a submarine? Universal has an amazing gift of taking a singular franchise and making it a global phenomenon. This is why the Fast and Furious franchise is a multi-billion-dollar franchise, because it's a global phenomenon. That's why the Jurassic film series is a multi-billion-dollar film series, because it's a global phenomenon. They take these one little things and they explode them around the world. And now we literally have dinosaurs all around the world that have been sold, that are being transported, that escaped. What's to come? If we get dinosaurs in space, I'm going to have an issue. But it's literally doing the title, Jurassic World. That, my friends, is how you write a story. Imagery all around. Gorgeous. I have no issues with this film. There were horror elements. horror elements. They were homage to the past ones. Owen in the mirror because the T-Rex was in the mirror. Maisie was in the laundry chute because Lexi was in the dishwasher pulling the thing down. You know, little tiny things like that. I picked up on that, and us hardcore fans obviously will notice stuff like that, right? Right? Yes. I need to sleep. It's been fun. Thank you for joining me in my phlegm-filled conversation about why 13-year-old boys are the worst in a movie. Excuse me, this one particular 13-year-old boy was the worst. Who I scared. I'm so proud of myself. So proud of myself. Fear, man. Sometimes you gotta inflict some fear. And then you get respect. That kid didn't make a peep. He didn't move an inch. If he had a pee, no one would know. Because he didn't move. It was great. I will hold that. I will hold that near and dear to my heart. Knowing that I scared a 13-year-old boy while watching this movie. One for the memory books. 10 out of 10. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I don't have a paper. I'll just hold up the... Huh. That song wasn't in it. It's alright. Progress. Change. Change. Can he do this? Oh, he's got 2 fingers. Mucho mahalo, guys.